Hello everyone. Today we have new live review, and as you can see this time we are going to check something special as I promised yesterday. That's a 148 scale resin set, but this time it's not just a simple add-on. That's, I would say, complete kit on its own. Even though it is designed to be used with a plastic model, as you can see, it is more, let's say, sophisticated than what we saw before. And as you can see, it is designed in 148 scale. It will be copying engine and fuselage guns for BF-109F in 148 scale. It's Eduard kit, Eduard plastic, which should be can be combined together with this set from Resin series. As you can see, this is a really nice which is typical for this series, and I would say fine. As you can see, you get exactly. Let's open it. It is easy to open as well. Just use the sharp knife, and that's pretty much all. Okay. Now let's open it. And here is what we have inside. So as you can see, inside we have everything wrapped into the assembly manual, but no worries, there is also foam which will protect everything what is hidden inside. This foam, I'm telling it always on our video reviews, don't throw it away because it's really useful thing for the weathering, for our modeling hobby, especially if you build AFV models. This is a really nice tool which will be handy for some purposes. Now inside we have a lot of plastic bags, and as you can see we have small parts sorted into several plastic bags, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have those cooling panels, and also we have here PE thread. So let's check them one by one. Obviously, this is not a simple kit which consists out of 3 parts. This is something more serious. And first I would like to start from the engine block, which is packed into its own plastic bag. So here it is. Note that in 148 scale we have some parts pre-molded, and you won't have to do a lot of work on this engine. I mean, it's, I would say, relatively not a lot of work because I built the same kit in 1/32 scale. It was designed for use with Revol plastic model, and you can find review on our website. And it was much more divided, let's say, into small parts. So you had to glue all those small things one by one in order to get it finished. Now we have everything on one block, and I think it's really nice because if you consider the size, and I mean, you can see that it's slightly bigger than my fingertip. So if you consider the size, it's really handy feature because you won't have to work with tweezers just to get this small part into the right spot. Next we have, nevertheless, we have also some small parts, so don't be that happy, I would say. And here we have more resin parts. So those are special engine struts or pointed brush, because otherwise it will be a bit tricky to paint those. And here from the other side you can see that we also clean this resin flash, but it's normal for such kit, so I don't see any possible issue with this. Whole length molded like this. And again, I'm a bit surprised why Eduard decided to do it out of resin. Of course, nobody's using some replacement for this part, but even out of the box it should look good. The only thing you have to do is to clean carefully the resin flash here, because as you can see it is present there and it will be a bit tricky to do. So be sure to have the sharp knife, it will be handy here. Here we have various accessories for the engine. Those small things will be glued into the right spot, so be sure to have them installed. And this one, I'm not sure what is this, so we'll have to check. Maybe that's a middle hinge between cooling panels, which will be also installed like this. But we'll see it in assembly manual. Next plastic bag has those small elements. Here we have air filter, for example. Also I can see some other external equipment parts. Then we have here this special cover which will be placed right in the front of the frontal section of the canopy. As you can see, it features detailing not only outside but also inside. That's quite interesting because you can show it also somehow on your build. Then we have those minor parts. Those are really tiny. So here you can see comparison with my fingertip. They're really small, so be careful with them, especially this one. It's really thin. Next to another part, this one will hold propeller in place. And also here we have various lines or wires. Those two parts, I guess they will be used with machine guns. And here we have, again, minor equipment for the engine. And last but not the least is this fourth plastic bag. This one is dedicated to resin parts molded out of light gray resin. As you can see here, we have the frontal section. As far as I remember, that's an oil tank. Correct me if I am wrong, because I'm not sure about this. Then here we have this special, I would say, platform for machine guns. As you can see, wiring is pre-molded here. I can even try to show it closer here. On YouTube, you should see it properly. So we have all wiring pre-molded, and let's try to show it on Instagram as well. Just give me a second. On Instagram, it doesn't work. So you should be able to see it like this. A lot of paint work, I would say, and a lot of work with this sharp brush I was mentioned before, but I think final result will be rewarding. I will bring it closer again for YouTube viewers. I think they should see it. Next, we have also separately molded exhaust tips. They're molded on 2 resin bases, so try to guess what you'll have to do. You'll have to glue all those parts one by one into the right spot on the engine. But those look really nice, and as you can see, I guess it's worth like spending some time with those parts. Then here we have 2 minor elements for machine guns. Next we have also another air intake for the engine, and this one looks really nice. I mean, you don't get such level of detailing in plastic parts, so it's worth using this element. Next we have turbocharger or compressor. Here it is, also molded as a one-piece part. And another air intake type. And frankly speaking, I am not sure why there are several types of air intake, so we'll have to check the assembly manual. Maybe it was decided to combine several versions of the aircraft. Here we have the part which will be placed on the top of the engine. I'm not sure what is this. And here we have the firewall, which features some pre-molded parts, as you can see, which should be painted as well with due care. Then here we have this plastic bag with PE fret and decals. Surprisingly, this kit, which I was building in 1/32 scale, it didn't have the decals inside, so I had to replicate all the writings with my own tools, because I mean it is visible on some reference photos, so it was worth trying to copy it. But here we have this decal sheet printed in Eduard, which is printed in nice quality, and we have full number registry here, so it should be easy to use on your build. And then we have this unpainted P fret, which carries various parts for detailing. As you can see, we have even some wires here, so be ready to work with them. This might be a bit, I would say, exhausting. And here we have cooling panels. Cooling panels feature recessed panel lines and riveting, as you can see, so there is no problem with detailing. Even inside we have those nice features carefully copied in resin, so I really doubt that you have any problems here. Of course, again, you have to cut through some flash. For example, here the gun mounts are closed with resin flash, so you will have to cut through it. But otherwise, it's really easy to separate from all those tabs, and I think you will have really nice engine panels once you paint them. And last but not the least is the assembly manual. Assembly manual is printed in typical resin format. So we start with assembly of the engine. We install all external equipment, as you can see here, turbocharger with some wires and tubes. Here we assemble the struts, which will hold the engine. Then we continue with, that's a fifth step. Here we have 6, 7, and 8 step. Know that you have to use your own wire, so be ready to get some and maybe prepare some of this material. Here we have installation of machine guns. Next we have also still assembly of the engine. Again, some wiring used, so be sure to have it. Again, wire, wire, and wire. So as you can see, a lot of wire to have. Here we have the small scheme on how to modify the original plastic. All those red segments will have to be cut off, even on the dashboard, so be sure to have it. And even on the firewall, as you can see here. So in the final state, you have this assembled together, and only then you install the engine inside. But that's actually a nice idea that you have it not inside, but you can paint it separately. Then here we have explanation why we have several versions of the air intake. So we have late, early, and drop versions, so that you can replicate them all. On the next page we have last steps of the assembly. So that means installation of the engine into the fuselage. Then we continue with exhaust here. Then we install these exhaust panels. Then we continue with this hinge, as I mentioned before. Again, exhaust panels from the other side. And last steps include the special PE part for the frontal section. We install cooling panels, and again you have to source some wire because wire is not included here, so you have to use your own product, I would say. And here we have decals application guide. As you can see, it is quite simple as it was on the real engine, and as you remember, whole engine was finished in black color. So that's all for this video review. I hope you enjoyed it. This nice kit is already available on manufacturer website, on Eduard website. Here, by the way, you can see all the parts which are included into this set. And of course, if you would like to have detailed engine on your BF109F, you should get this set, definitely. You can order it directly from Eduard together with plastic kit, even in Profi Pack or maybe as a weekend edition. So thank you for watching, thank you for joining this live session, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. I can see a comment on the YouTube that lots of wires, well, it was the real engine, real engine structure like this, so there were a lot of wires, and it is, I would say, once you apply all those wires on this kit, you will be surprised with how good it looks. So it's worth investing into some copper wire which you will be using in this build. So again, I will be happy to answer your questions if you write them in the comments below. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Instagram. And I will see you in the next live session or daily video review. Thank you for watching, and bye.